This is the Education Business Podcast for consultants and business owners providing services in schools. I'm Claire Riley, and I'll be sharing how to start, grow and scale your education business. Hi everyone, so this is a joint episode with me and Ed, and we've got some big news really to talk about today, because this is actually going to be our final episode of Education Business Podcast. Now, is it going to be the final episode forever? I never like to say never. Obviously, the podcast will still be here to download and things. Might we do one in the future? Yes, we might do an episode. Never going to rule that out. But we're not going to be publishing episodes every Monday. So we thought we'd do an episode really just to talk about what's led us to that journey, really. Anything to add, Ed?
Well, no, I think you said pretty much what you need to say in terms of that. It's obviously been a learning journey, hasn't it? I think never say never, I think is a good way of putting it, because you never know. There might be a bonus we do, or something, if something arises that's appropriate. But yeah, it's been a big learning journey, hasn't it? I think we've gone on together.
And that's funny, isn't it? Like using the words learning journey, because, and when he said, there might be a bonus episode we do, like we're all for sharing our learning. And I suppose we've got to the place where I wouldn't say it's comfortable, but we do learn quite publicly in the positions that we're in now. And so it might be that we've got something to share, a learning journey to share, and we'll absolutely be happy to do that, really. But yeah, we just wanted to talk about some of the reasons, really. And I feel like it's been driven in large part from me, because obviously it's me who does the extra episodes, and Education Business Club has been driven by me. But some of the things that have happened over the last couple of months that have led us to this decision, really, because I suppose this is the latest decision in line with a few other decisions, isn't it? That has brought us to this point. Really, it's kind of like a cherry on the cake, shall we say? But you'll know that we spend quite a lot of time really reflecting and thinking about the next year. And obviously, 2023 has been no different. We did that at the end of 22, and that process takes quite a long time for us both. I think we start talking about it in November, don't we?
Yeah, usually.
Yeah, and usually it's me. Edward, have you done your goals yet? Edward, have you thought about it? Edward, I'm still thinking. And, I was actually quite late, really. We were thinking, but I wasn't really locked in. But this year, I don't know about you, Ed, but I feel like we've got so much more clarity than I've had probably ever, to be honest. I've been working with coaches for quite a few years now, but the clarity that I've got this year is just immense.
Yeah, I think it's about clearing some stuff out of the way as well. Some stuff have been dealt with, some stuff have been kind of worked on, so you kind of see more things in front of you. So perhaps that's where the clarity sort of comes from in that respect.
Yeah, and I think as well, for me, and conversations that we've both had together, is that it does leave space then for those things that, they come up and then they come up again and they come up again, and you're like, I probably should do something with that. It allows a space for those things to resurface then, doesn't it? So I think we should actually maybe talk more about what brought us to this, really. So the first thing is that we've got big plans at Classroom Secrets. I mean, we've been working on those for a while anyway. But sometimes you really do need to focus on one thing and choose one thing to work on and work on it well. It's what we both teach, isn't it, Ed? Yep. That you need to focus. And so really we're being that example to you. And that's one of my things, really. I want to encourage people, and I want to be an example to you, and I want to give people opportunity. So example is a big word for me. So yeah, it's setting the example that actually we do have some big things at Classroom Secrets, and we want to really focus on that together. And ensure that we get the outcome that works really well for us, don't we, really?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we sort of know that formula of us working together can achieve those results. And I think it's about focusing that energy now, not having to split that energy so much. So I think, yeah, now feels like the right time. Things have happened, things have moved on to refocus
Yeah.
in 2023 and get on with these big things that we need to do.
And really focus on the same things,
Mhm.
bringing our unique skill sets as well. And something that we've really been working on, and probably something that you want to work on for yourself really, is not just clarity on what we want business to look like, but what we want our lives to look like. And I feel like we've both been braver and stepped out into that. I mean, I have I said to my in-laws and parents over Christmas, just unapologetically said, you know what, we want to go away over school holidays. And I think in some ways, a year ago, a couple of years ago, I would have been afraid to say that based on the judgment I would perceive that I might get. And it's not just with them, it's with lots of people. But in-laws have a special kind of hold on you in that sense, don't they? And I think, with the pandemic, it really has made us really look at what we want life to look like, but then equally make some hard choices to go after what it is that we want, and be clear on that we both want that, because that's been interesting, hasn't it? Making sure that we both want those things.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a partnership, and we've both got to meet in the middle, haven't we? And be both focus on the right things, the same things, to kind of achieve those. Otherwise, you're pulling in different directions. That makes it harder, doesn't it?
It does make it harder as a man, because obviously I'm a woman, so I think, one of my measures of success, maybe that's something that I've been thinking about more and defining more, is that one of my measures of success is actually time and space and freedom. And I think it's easier probably for a woman to say that. How do you feel about that?
I would probably term it more as choice. And I guess it's still freedom, isn't it? Freedom to have that choice, time to have that choice. But for me, it's very much more about the choice to do X, Y, or Z. And that's kind of what I'm working towards, really.
Yeah. So we're not falling off a cliff, are we?
Absolutely not. No, we're still going to be around. So we're both going to focus on building our brands as individuals, aren't we? In anticipation of what the future holds, whatever that may be. So, you'll still see us there sharing value and putting content out there on a regular basis from our different perspectives.
Yeah. So you'll still see, still follow our Instagrams. Ed, what's your Instagram?
My Instagram, yeah, good question. My Instagram is Ed
Riley Talks
Business. Yeah, glad you know.
I really thought, when you looked at me then, I thought, oh my word.
It's a bit like your telephone number. You never ring yourself, do you?
Oh, yeah, well, that's true. And, well, I do know my telephone number, but gone are the days where I knew everybody's phone numbers. Just don't know anymore. And obviously mine, I'm worried now, do I know it? Mine is Claire Riley, Teacher Entrepreneur. But we're still going to be sharing our stories a lot on Instagram's the best place, because you see the stories as well. But LinkedIn is equally good. So you'll see us posting a lot, and we're really focusing on, I suppose, building our personal brands for fun at the moment, in anticipation of what could fall out of it. We know that there's a lot we can talk about. We can talk about growing businesses. We can talk about team. We can talk about what it's like to work together and be married, and all sorts of different things. And so we're going to still share that as part of it. It's just that we're not going to have the Education Business Club podcast, really. We will still mentor a select few people. But what we're trying to do really is broaden our horizons, really, not just to be really focused in on education, because we know we can add value wider than that, and particularly Ed as well, because you're not actually from an education background at all, are
Nope.
you really?
So,
so yeah, it's going to be a really interesting journey, and one of the things that we both really want to do actually is look at non-executive roles this year, and so we'll be able to share that journey with you on social media. So we're not going anywhere. I just wanted to make that clear, really.
yeah, we'll still be there. So as long as you make sure you follow us and connect with us
Yeah.
on LinkedIn, and you'll still see us doing that stuff.
Yeah, keep following us. But I hope that this is inspiring, because I feel like a lot of this podcast is about having confidence to do what your conviction is leading you to do, and stepping out and doing what you feel is right. And this is just us doing that. And 2023 has brought a lot of clarity for both of us, but also for me, I've realized 2023, I'm not doing the shoulds. I'm not doing a podcast in education business because I feel like I should, because I know about it, or building more courses because I think I should, because I know about it. It's more about what we actually want. I think we've definitely done quite a lot of work to get really clear on what it is we want personally as well, haven't we, Ed?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, and you're absolutely right. If you shouldn't do something if just because you've got knowledge on something, or you think you should. So I think that's a really good point you made there. I think it's also good to be able to step back and reflect, isn't it? On well, we started this, and now we're going to take a slightly different direction, and that's fine. I'm sure many of you might be listening, thinking similar things, and I just kind of want to say it's okay. It's not about failing; it's about what you can kind of learn from the journey you've had so far, and where you can take that journey next.
Yeah, and it's part of the journey as well. And I suppose for us, really, like when people grow the businesses, maybe it's not as public as this has obviously felt for us. But for us, it just feels part of the journey, and we know now, we're more clear that we do want to build brands, and we're still going to do that. It's just, it's not going to be only about education. It's going to be more about, well, we've got a few themes, haven't we? We're going to sort of see what falls out of it, but obviously being entrepreneurs and being married and traveling more with the children while doing that. I think that's going to be an important thing as well.
Yeah, definitely. It opens up our horizons in terms of things we can share and talk about, doesn't it?
Yeah. So the best thing to do now, if you're listening to this in like 3 years' time, who knows what we'll be doing then? Please do listen to the other things that we've started by that point. But you can find us on Instagram, Ed Riley Talks Business, and also Claire Riley Teacher Entrepreneur. And we'll be sharing our stories together, won't we? So if you're nosy and want to see what our life is really like, building a business and having young children and working together and trying to travel more, really, then you'll find the journey interesting. But do follow us and see what we do next, because we're all for sharing the learnings, and hopefully that's helpful for you. So I just want to say a massive thank you, especially if you've listened from the beginning, if you've listened to all the episodes so far, and who knows, there might be episodes in the future, but for now we just know that this is a should, and we're stopping doing the shoulds right now, and we're being brave, and we're stepping out into what feels right for us. So thank you for being part of our journey.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to the Education Business Podcast. To get more information to grow your business, sign up at educationbusinessclub.co.uk.